writing music with them, and or just me composing the music. The first album was songs, which we recorded in Stockholm in '85, and then re-recorded. I wrote Home, that the last song on that album, the music there. And Rune and I were told by Virgin Records in London that we needed another single. So we sat down in the studio and came up with Every Time I See You. And I wrote the chorus for that. The verse was from a previous song. So, and then I started writing more and more. So I wrote Light and Shade. I wrote Stitches. And I wrote Beauty and Madness, the music there, and so on.
Did you mention 19?
Yeah, that was released as a single in '86.
Would that
and then was part of the album songs?
Because there was a surge of European British artists back in the '80s. It was called the British Invasion, and there was a lot of new wave. Would Every Time I See You be considered a new wave song from the '80s?
Not at the time. Not at the time. At the time, well, sort of. There was some, bass lines there that was New Order-ish, and the groove on the verse. It's that's not very pop. That was new wave style. Yeah, time.
Here in the Philippines, in Cebu, it was part of the new wave collections. If you collected like a mixtape of new wave songs, The Cure and the Smiths, there would every now and then you would see Every Time I See You from Fra Lippo Lippi.
Yeah. So it's probably because of that, because of the bass line in the intro and the dark vocal voice on the verses and that groove, the drum groove there.
When you first made music in your first few albums, including Every Time I See You and Light and Shade and so on and so forth, I'm curious. What was it? Because I know you're such a phenomenon here in Cebu and even in the entire Philippines. But where else was Fra Lippo Lippi big? Because I know for a fact here in the Philippines there are several artists that are big here in the Philippines, and then when I go to the States or some parts of the world, nobody's heard of. Let's say Mike.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
And there's also
we did really well in Japan.
Okay.
We did really well in France. We did 6 TV shows in Paris, and sold a lot of records on the first single. Shouldn't Have to Be Like That.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you we were there in the autumn and played, to audiences. Did. Also Argentina, weirdly, where we've never been to. So I know we're very popular there. We're also quite popular in Indonesia and Australia.
Did you ever have
and America?
Did you ever have a top 40 hit in the United States? I'm curious.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
We've never. And then they tested the first single Angel on the radio in New York, and got massive feedback from the public. But then Virgin America signed Stevie Winwood for $40 million or something, so Virgin America got rid of 5 or 6 bands to cover up for the costs of having Stevie Winwood. So that was bye-bye to us in America at that time.
Wow.
So you never
broke through the United States market?
No, and that was a shame. We were recording there, and Jimmy Haslip on bass and Jeff Porcaro on drums, they played with us, and they said, we'd love to go on tour with you in America. But that never happened, unfortunately. So, but these days with Spotify and all the digital platforms, it's much easier to reach out to every
right.
continent. And I have, us artists, we have something called Spotify for Artists, where I can go in, log in, and see where in the world do we do well. What is the age of the fans, in different regions. It's all sorts of things we can check out there. That's really nice.
You mentioned earlier, during your conversation with the press team here in Cebu, that Light and Shade was about a painter.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
That's my assumption. My assumption. Rune has never said anything about that.
There's something mysterious. There's something intellectual. There's something deep about the titles of your music. I don't know if this is your intention or this is by design. And your titles of your songs sound like paintings. Like there's no like the oxymoron, crazy wisdom. The contrast.
Yeah, I know.
Shade, stitches and burns. It's like you're going for something. Are these sort of like your artworks? Are these like kind of when you create music? When you guys create music, what are you thinking about?
Well spotted, sir. I must say, because Rune, he has his own record company, record label called Rune Gramophone, and he has always been, all of his artists. He has decided what kind of sleeve they are going to have. And that's what he did with our records too. That the sleeve should match the lyrics, should match the music, the production, the sound. Everything should come together as one expression. That was very important to him. And I've learned so much from that because, it is so important. So thanks to Rune, that was really the message sent to our fans, that we wanted to present one expression, one whole cohesive,
piece of art.
A piece of art, if you will. I remember when we, sorry.
Go ahead, continue.
No, I will just say that I remember when I did a demo on Light and Shade. And I asked my dear friend Erland Hansen, who still plays guitar with me, if he could come to my, my parents' home to go to my old bedroom. And then we recorded on this, Postex 8-track machine. And he laid down the guitar on that. And he was like, oh, wow, this is a good song. It's fantastic.
One of the most iconic lyrics of any song that I know of in the decades that I've been in broadcasting here in the Philippines is one of the lyrics to the song Light and Shade. When it goes something like, be strong, speak out when you want the world to know, and be weak if you want to love. I don't know if you wrote those words, but they're beautiful. They're stunningly beautiful. Tell us about.
As I said, they're all Rune's words.
Okay,
they're all Rune's words. But I think it's brilliant because it could be very personal, but it could also be a huge thing, such as if you're gay or lesbian or trans or anything like that. It speaks to you. Be proud.
And that song. Crazy
and speak out.
Yeah, speak out. Yeah, there's another song that's also kind of a mystery to me. It's called, of course, I don't know if you wrote "Crazy Wisdom." Especially now in this day and age when there's so much. We're living in the world of information. We're so divided now. There's so much information out there on the internet, and a lot of people are going crazy. There's a lot of mental health issues and all of that stuff. And that song, Crazy Wisdom, seems to sort of be the song of the times. If you think about it, what is Crazy Wisdom all about? Did you write that song, or was it your friend again who wrote that song? What is that all about?
Rune Christopherson wrote all the lyrics for Fra Lippo Lippi.
Okay.
Yeah. But I wrote the music for many of the more popular songs, if I may say so. But Crazy Wisdom is Crazy Wisdom is his music and his lyrics. I laid down the chords and filled out to make it sound really well, but it's his composition, his lyrics, and I think those lyrics, without, as again, Rune wouldn't say anything about it, but to me, it speaks about the smaller things in life. Watch children play, to see that, it's spring and there are leaves on the green leaves, new leaves on the trees now. All those little things, And we love that song. The whole band loves that song, and we will perform it.
That's also my from the band too, Crazy Wisdom. And the piano intro of Beauty and Madness is also beautiful. Tell us about the song, because that is such a beautiful contrast, beauty and madness. Tell us about when you introduced the song, when you started the song with a piano, and it sort of builds up.
Yes, it's always been with my compositions. I've written the music first, and then he's writing the words afterwards.
Okay.
So Beauty and Madness and Later are two of those songs that, I could just play through. It was like it just landed on my lap.
Wow.
And then I could play it. I didn't work on it. It just came. And I have my special ways of laying down chords, so it sounds me. It's the same on Later as it is in Beauty and Madness. It's the same sort of voicing in the chord, if you know what I mean. So no, I just use that. Sometimes you sit for hours on end and you just try to work out a song. I've completely stopped doing that. But because, I can wake up, just after midnight or something, and there is an idea. And then I just sing it in on my mobile phone. And then I play it in the morning.
Wow. The music of Fra Lippo Lippi, although has hit a chord here in the Philippines, I think it's primarily because of maybe perhaps the lyrics and the melody and so on and so forth. But your sound is uniquely Fra Lippo Lippi. I don't think any band in the world sounds like you guys. So thank you for your music, Per. And, I've been consuming your music for the last few decades. I've been playing your music for such a long, long time. And I'm so happy that those songs exist. They inspire me and they motivate me a whole lot when I'm having a rough day. And a lot of people in the Philippines also love that song and are inspired by your lyrics, especially. Now, I'm curious if you will make any more new songs, because you're uniquely Fra Lippo Lippi. You're uniquely you. The way you write music, the way you compose music, the way you sing is uniquely yours. Do you have anything new coming up that we can expect in the next few years?
Hopefully. I'm trying to convince Rune to start working again. We're getting any younger, any of us. So it would be nice to make a new album. But I've been writing so much, so many songs over the last 10 years. I think I have 50 songs on my mobile now.
Wow.
But some of which are waiting for lyrics, but that's how it is. I never stop writing. So, but you should check out the Stay This Time on Spotify. It's there. It's the single.
Stay This Time.
Stay This Time.
When was this released?
Last year, October.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And there is a certain poetic quality to that song that you should check out too. Yeah.
Exactly. It's really poetic, the way you write, the way your partner writes music, and the way you compose the music. It's just uniquely Fra Lippo Lippi. And again, let me repeat.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, music.
Yeah.
visit soon. When you're in Cebu, we are just a few steps away from where you're performing. If live artists will allow, maybe you can visit our studios and we can do this one-on-one interview in front of the camera.
Yeah. Let's see how the schedule plays out, and let's see if we have the time to do that. That would be lovely. I'm looking forward to doing this, and thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thank you so much.
Cebu's iconic landmark, Tops, brings you the voice that has serenaded us for decades.